Welcome to Knicksfandom. This is an independent New York Knicks fan-based podcast, which was created by fans for fans. The show is hosted by L.A. Blackwell, Danny, and Flo. They'll discuss the issues surrounding the Knicks, the NBA, and various other sports-related topics. Join us. It's going to be a heck of a ride.
She's a peach. When you say my name, talk more jump, but won't look my way. No, that wasn't Missy Elliott performing at a recent Golden State Warriors games, people. That was Draymond Green letting the entire NBA know how he truly feel about the reigning finals NBA MVP, Kevin Durant. We're going to talk about that and a lot more topics on today's show. This is episode 57 of our podcast, known as Knicksfandom. Happy holiday, listeners. As always, I'm your host, L.A. Blackwell. Glad to be joined by my fellow co-host, Danny D. How you doing, Danny D?
I'm good, L.A. What's going on, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I hope you had a good holiday, brother. Also glad to be joined by my fellow co-host, Flo. How you been doing, Flo?
LA, I'm great today, brother. How you doing today, man?
I'm all right. Hope you had a good holiday as well. Got a lot to talk about, listeners. And we're going to start things right off the top with NBA talk. And right off the top, guys, we got to talk about the Golden State Warriors drama that continues. After a recent overtime loss to the Los Angeles Clippers, Kevin Durant and Draymond Green got to a heated discussion about an end-of-regulation possession that led to the Warriors turning over the ball as time expired. Green had repeatedly called Durant a bitch, excuse my French, after he was called out by the two-time NBA Finals MVP in the huddle for not passing the ball. Since that time, the Warriors have lost 4 of 7 games. Draymond Green has been out with a sprained toe, while Steph Curry was out with a strained left groin, and he was also in a recent car accident. Thankfully, he's okay. And KD reportedly liked the tweet that stated, Green getting traded if Cousins healthy, just a rumor going around. Gentlemen, what are your thoughts regarding NBA champions, Golden State Warriors? So I'm with you, Flo.
LA, I'm a little bit annoyed with KD, and I'm going to tell you why. You didn't defend yourself in the huddle when allegedly Draymond called you the B word. Then after the game, you want to get fresh with the reporters, tell me I'm not going to answer any questions about Draymond. You should address your issues with Draymond on the court once and for all. You don't need to get testy with the media. Then you liked a comment about Draymond getting traded. Again, that still tells me that you still have some lingering feelings with Draymond. Not a good look for KD. I'm not and the thing that a little bit concerning for me, if you notice, the organization took KD's side by suspending Draymond, which is very interesting. Keep in mind, Draymond still got 2 years left on his contract. KD's can opt out this year. So I guess they're trying to please KD. Also, we failed to mention LA. Remember, the Warriors had a game in Dallas where a couple of Mavericks fans called KD a cupcake. And what did KD respond back? He went to the fans and excuse my French here. He went to the fans and said, shut the fuck up and watch the fucking game. Inexcusable by KD. You cannot let the fans get to you. I understand the fans are wrong by making fun of you. But again, you got to focus on the game, not on the fans. He's too sensitive. He's very sensitive, and he's gotta really keep, his feelings in check. At the same time, he's got to know when to check a teammate. Can't be going off on the fans like that. That's the no-no.
Okay, I agree with a lot of things you stated there, Flo. This is typical KD, typical Draymond and me. This is a different level, though. How about you, Danny D? What you think?
Yeah, he got fined for that, too. But to me, like I said, to me, that really shows you not the personality and stuff like that. I'm not trying to say if he got no daddy issues and things like that, but that's a sucker move. Keep that same energy that you have with the fans and the media. You reference that and you throw that to Draymond. Don't be a sucker. If you're going to man up and do that to Draymond when Draymond called you out the first time and letting that lingering. And you know what it's called? That's called displacement anger. You're displacing your anger on other people because you can't displace it to anger who you really want to do it to. First of all, they took you from a team that you were winning and you almost had them beat and you lose and you go join them. And this is the respect that they'll show you. That's showing their true colors, how they really feel about you. And the only person you need to be mad about is you need to be mad at yourself because you put yourself in that situation. You don't want championships for this team, and Draymond is still not showing the respect that you deserve. That's on you, bro. So you need to look and do the MJ song, Man in the Mirror. That's you. You set the tone. And the thing is, with the facility and things like that, I'm still looking at Draymond. Draymond, yeah, he's wrong because when he did the ball, took the ball and dribbled, I don't know what he was doing. I don't know if he was out his mind because Draymond, you're not a first, second, third. I don't even think you're a fourth option on that team when it goes down to that. The ball never should have been in your hand. It should have went KD, Klay Thompson, damn it, Sean Livingston, Andre Iguodala, maybe you last. So I'm just confused. And for Kevin Durant, that's really on you, bro. You have no one to blame but yourself.
Yeah, you made some good points there, Danny D. And you know what's crazy about this whole thing? Everybody brought this thing together. Like it was reported, Draymond Green after they lost to the Cleveland Cavaliers was crying in the back and went and seeked out KD. You know, so he asked this man to come here. If y'all so good, why go and get him? But now you don't want the guy to get here because it's about the money. When they always say it's not about the money, it's always about the money. And Draymond's looking around, man. He's starting to realize, it's not enough money around here. They're going to sign Klay. They already signed Curry. And it's going to be between me and Kevin Durant down the road. So maybe I may want to get this guy out of here. You know, even they would decide to sign, put somebody behind Boogie, too, which is going to impact him down the road potentially. So Draymond is looking at that. He probably saying, you know what? I got to make sure I get my money, too. And my ability is not going to transfer the same way as KD will. You could put KD on any team. He's still going to put up numbers. He's that skillful. He's one of the top 5 best players in the league. Draymond is no KD. You put him on another team, he's not going to put these same numbers up. I'm sorry. And he's actually getting worse right now. His 3-point percentage is worse than what it's been in previous years. So he's actually not performing better. While KD is 2-time finals MVP the last 2 years. So that's something to say right there. And the big thing is Draymond told him, okay, leave. We could win without you. But you're the one that got me here, as I stated previously. So that's just ignorant in this statement in itself. The Durant has to realize you brought this on yourself, too. This is what happened. We say that it was a bad move down the road looking at this team when you stacking one on top of the other. You can't be the man on the team because the team was already the champions. They already had broke the record. This is what's happening right now. It's too many chefs in the kitchen. And the big thing you're starting to see, the big play that's on this team is not Durant. It's not Draymond. It's Steph Curry. Because I guarantee you, if Steph Curry's on this team healthy, none of this would be happening to this extent. I guarantee you that. That's the guy that you look at and see the numbers of this team. They all plummet when Steph Curry's not there. And that's just the end of that's the discussion right there. The floor is not spread the same way. They don't push the ball like they do when Curry is there. And this is what you see in the impact of that. And that's going to hurt Durant's ability a little bit down the road, too. Because starting to take away a little bit from what you're doing, saying, maybe you're not as good as we thought. We was putting out there with LeBron. Maybe you're not that type of dude right now. So that's something you got to look at, too. But one thing you stayed there. Go ahead, Danny D.
No, continue. And I said, and he's not. He never will be.
He's not. And that's what you're seeing. And the other thing you stated there, Flo, was about the fine and everything. You got to remember, this guy went after your coach, Kerr. And when after cursed him out, they didn't fine him or suspend him for that. I believe they fined this man a game and suspended him for this incident. Right there is putting a line in the sand right there telling you that Draymond Green is not as important as Kevin Durant. And that's the bottom line with that. You're going to lose in that battle. And that's what they're trying to make sure they can keep this guy. And with him liking tweets saying he want this guy going, basically, I don't know how it's going to go down the road. Which brings me to the next question, guys. Would you trade Draymond Green? Starting with you, Flo.
LA, I got a weird trade proposal for this. I got Draymond going to the San Antonio Spurs for center Pau Gasol and draft picks. Because that's the only team to me that will maybe that can keep Draymond in check. A veteran coach and Pop that Draymond has to respect. He has to respect the pedigree. So that's probably the only team I would do the trade for.
But would you trade him?
If I'm Golden State or the Spurs?
Golden State.
Well, if I'm Golden State, I'm getting rid of him. Oh, definitely. Definitely. Because that to me will convince KD to come back. I'm definitely doing that. I'm definitely trading him.
Okay, how about you, Dan D? What you think about that trade proposal, and would you trade Draymond this year?
Not even a second question. He got to go. If KD don't want to, I'm pulling KD aside. Bro, what you want us to do? You want him to stay or go? Oh, you want him to go? Draymond, pack up your stuff. You got to go. No Uber. You going to take a Lyft, brother. You'll figure it out. You're leaving. Because the thing is, like you said, when you go talent-wise, I already told you. I'm going Steph, Clay. We already said Durant. I'm going Sean Livingston, Iguodala. And I don't have nothing. Like I told y'all before a previous podcast, I don't have a problem with Draymond. I don't have I have no problem. I don't know the man. But I'm saying basketball-wise and things like that, I think him being on that team made him seem like he was a better player than what he really is. And he's not. All those all-star getting third NBA team, that happens because he has great shooters around him. You can plug a Drake, a Crowder from Utah, and he will give you the same exact thing. They'll be like, oh, because Draymond plays with the bigs. He has to. Steph Curry and Klay Thompson are not going to go down there and play with power and bang with power forwards. Draymond has to do that. That's his job. He has to go. That's it. Where he goes, I don't know who's going to take him because, like you said, LA, where he's going to fit in another organization that has great shooters and have 4 other all-stars on the floor. Where?
No, I hear you. I definitely where y'all coming from, and I'm a little on the fence. My thing is, I don't mind getting rid of Draymond because, like we stated before, we had talked about the NBA All NBA teams, and he made it that year, and we was like, no way he should have made it over. I believe Paul George.
George, no way.
So. It's taking nothing away from Draymond, but he looks better on this team. He's like icing on this cake. But the thing is, I'm not just going to get rid of him just to get rid of him. Especially I don't have no certainty from Kevin Durant. If we going to move down that road, you have to give me a good 90% chance that you ain't going nowhere. Because it makes no sense to blow my team up if you're not going to stay. There's nobody's going to fit that same spot the same way that Draymond will, and you got to lose Draymond and Kevin Durant. You're not going to find with that team unless you got a healthy Boogie. That team is good, but that team is not that good to lose both of them players. So that's the thing. If you're going to go down that road and get rid of Draymond, I got to get some clarification for Kevin Durant that he's not going nowhere. That's the bottom line with that. And then you can move forward. The only other dude regarding the Pau Gasol trade, I would like that more. Pau Gasol was younger, but not the guy that he is now. Plus, they worry me with defense issues they'll have. I'm not that big on that trade. Another deal which is funny was actually with work I looked at was Enes Kanter for Draymond Green. And I don't know if they want to go that road because he gets a ton of rebounds. He plays inside, which is something they don't have. Can't hold, a wet noodle. We know that. But like you said, a lot of play a little better when they play with Klay Thompson and Steph Curry and Kevin Durant. He's another guy that would go there and would fit. Some people I heard think Draymond Green would actually be a good fit in New York because his attitude. I'm not sure about that. But that's another potential deal they could make. I'm not sure if either team would want to go down that road, though. But what you think about that Pau Gasol deal potentially or Enes Kanter deal, Danny D?
It depends. Because to me, even if we do that, I would still have to give somebody else because some people will say that Draymond might be better than Kanter, but I think offensively, Kanter is a way better rebounder than Draymond, and he can spread the floor too. Because the thing is, when we look at highlights, all I see when Draymond hitting shots, he be wide open. I can go out there and if I'm wide open, the NBA player, I can shoot that percentage if I'm wide open. You understand what I'm saying? I don't care. Listen to you, y'all don't know. You have to look me up. But yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. The Paul Gasol, that's the only thing. Because Paul Gasol wouldn't give the same dynamics that Draymond has. He wouldn't fit that because Paul Gasol had to go down to the basket. He has to face the basket and things like that. And the only problem I will see with Kanter, he'd probably be a better fit, was that he won't be able to bring up the ball and lose the ball like Draymond does, like we can see in the Clippers game.
Yeah, I agree with that. How about you, Flo? What else you want to add to that?
I don't like the Draymond Green coming to New York for Enes Kanter at all. I think that's a bad trade. Bad trade, especially more for the Knicks so than as for Golden State. With the Knicks, you're giving away Kanter, gives you rebounds, gives you low post scoring, and he has a size advantage over Draymond Green. I don't like that trade at all for the Knicks, at all. It's a good trade for Golden State, bad trade for the Knicks.
Okay. And why do you like the Gasol trade?
I like the Gasol trade only because, again, I think Draymond needs to change the scenery. So to me, it's like a plus for both teams. I think Draymond can resurrect his career on the pop, and Gasol, he gets an opportunity to play on a championship team and see if he can get another ring. So I think it's an even trade for both teams in terms of salary wise. But again, I highly doubt the Spurs will make this trade because I think they still have to give up some draft picks. I don't see Pop trading away draft picks at this time. I really don't.
Okay. Well, listeners, y'all got ideas what we thought about those potential trade, what you think about it in the comment section. And that brings us to the next question, guys. Looking at how KD reacted with some of this situation that's going on, some of these circumstances that came up, do it make you feel a little more leery about him possibly joining the Knicks after this season? Because we are a Knicksfandom podcast, how did it make you feel that, or if anything different regarding KD? Starting with you, Danny D.
Not looking at anything different, but just Larry, if I'm KD, I'm leaving. I would have to leave because it's to show just to show the disrespect and things like that. You still, even though it's the monkey and everything is still on your back, and the scrutiny of leaving Oklahoma City, where you were the man, and you especially didn't think you were the man because you kind of behind Russell, but you really didn't step up and say, this is my team to Russell. Then you go to another team where you keep on saying, man, they don't show me the respect I deserve and things like that. No, like you said, you can't show the respect because it was never your team to begin with. They just rented you, brother. They rented you to get a couple rings because that's still going to be Steph's team, and it's always going to be Steph's team. And Draymond thinks, is like you said, potential. He wants more money, things like that. He believes that's his team. You're still considered an outsider. You can go to all the parties. You can throw up all the rings and that you want to win. You're still not considered that. They just rented you. You need to go to a team that you can call your own, come to New York and try to win a ring where they'll love and appreciate you, and you consider the man and be your team. That's it.
Okay, but what about him in New York? Do you worry about him personality-wise? Like, not to change sports, but with like Randy Johnson came to the Yankees, does this start to make you see some issues with him down the road?
The only issue that I see is the sensitivity, man. He has to stop being so sensitive to things. He probably called up the Daily News and New York Times and cursed them out and try to tweet them if he have a bad game. Stop being so sensitive, man. Stop, man. Grow up. You playing in the man's league. Where people do that. Stop acting like a crybaby. Stop having like you had before. Stop having the fake accounts. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. No, that's what you really meant to say, but you didn't want people to know that's how you felt. Man up and start saying how you feel, bro. Nobody's gonna be upset. Speak your mind, man. Freedom of speech, brother.
I hear you, D. And he's 30 years old, man. That's the thing.
Yeah, man.
It's like, this is what you're going to get,
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Because you come to New York, it's going to be way different when you come to New York, man. But the thing is, it shouldn't be that bad but then you know what's going to be the problem now? It's the expectations. Because you're winning rings out in L.A. When you come here, we don't want to hear no garbage. We want to hear nothing but perfection. Because you don't want 2 rings out there. You might want 3. You come over here, that's what we're expecting. I'm not trying to hear no rebuilding. I want to see you get busy. And that's what we expect. Because you talking about greatness, you don't say you want to run rings. That's what we want to know. If you come to New York, you're going to help us win.
Yeah. And that's the crazy part about it is that they've won. And you're still acting like this. You won 2-time finals MVP. And you got pressure off you with Steph Curry. So, I mean, if you can't handle it over there, I don't know. It's making me a little worried if you handle it over here in New York. New York is a different animal, man. And they starving for some rings, starving for some legitimacy. Yeah, what you think about that, Flo?
I think with KD, he's going to have a conversation with his manager, Rich Kleiman. Also, he's going to have a conversation with Coach Fizz because they're going to have to let him know, listen, can't act like this. You got the rings, got the Finals MVP trophy. If you're coming to New York, you got to be on your best behavior and help us win. Period. No excuses. Simple as that.
Would you still push for him? Will you still put all your eggs in baskets with him, or you feeling like you want to slow down now?
No, I definitely put all my eggs in one basket, but I have to have that conversation with him first before I really make that move and pull the trigger of pulling all the stops of recruiting him. I got to have that conversation with him. Fizdale and Scott Perry, Steve Mills, and Rich Kleiman, which is KD's manager. All of us going to have to sit down and have a conversation before we really go big in recruiting him. Got to have a conversation with him to see where his head is at. And can he handle the pressure of playing in New York, the number one media market in the world.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff to come up. And it's shocking with a guy this good that you have to worry about these type of things. I've never seen a superstar, and he's a superstar, don't get me wrong. Ain't too many players could do what he do. That's why everybody keep talking about it. But to be this sensitive and this many issues to be a number one star on a player, on a team, it's just crazy to me. I haven't seen that in a long time, if ever. But the thing is with me, I'm still not going to stop pursuing, just answering my own question, just because he is that good. But if you bring KD over here with these things, I think I have to bring somebody else with him now. Yeah. We have to bring Kemba Walker or somebody and really gain that money to clean up and bring a second person with him. Because I think with him, and KP done shown me some ways he's very sensitive too, man. I don't want these two sensitive brothers running this team, man. To be honest with you. I'm like, this is tweeting this here. This guy's sending tweets out with him sprinting last week with KP, and then you blowing off exit interviews. I don't need two prima donnas in that locker room, man. So if that's the case going to be, as good as they are, you better bring somebody else with him. Some vet or somebody that this guy going to bring this together, whether it's a Kemba Walker or somebody that's going to like the face and mouth of that team, other than these two guys. Because at this rate, I can see this thing blowing up bad. And KD better calm down and get it together and realize you hurting yourself more than anybody else. Even if you felt that way, no reason to like those tweets. No reason. Very passive aggressive, man. Making Draymond exactly what he said about you, making it look like that's how you are. That's how you acting. That's not no man act. Come on. You know how you feel. You got the management there. They done found and they suspended. What more you want them to do at this point? Play the game, do what you need to do, and that's it. The rest of the season will take care of itself.
That's what I say. You know what? I'm sorry to cut you guys off. I'm thinking about it too, because that's when you think you're sensitive, because you're not thinking, because this I 100% is how you think. On national TV during the game, you're going to call me out in front of everybody in the camera, in front of everybody on national TV? You just going to disrespect me?
But that's the thing. If you felt that bad about it, take that right there in the locker room, man. Right in the tunnel. You say what you got to say right then and there. Don't come back after the reporters, like Flo said, and tomorrow, don't ask me no question. Don't puff your chest out now, Superman. Puff your chest out who you was going with before. Don't puff it out to the little reporters, to the little fans. That's nothing. That's like a pit bull going after a Chihuahua. Go after other Rottweiler. Go after the pit bull. Then you telling me something. Not those guys, man. Not those people. If you ain't say nothing back to what's the name, Draymond, don't come back out here after that. That's weak. And don't come back with tweeting and all that stuff either. That's weaker. That's just the way I look at it. But time will tell, as I like to say, guys, and we'll see what happens. My biggest thing is, as long as Steph Curry is healthy, that's going to make that team push, because he is the catalyst. I don't really care what's happening with Draymond and them in that extent. If he's healthy, he's going to make that team win, as long as him and Klay Thompson is healthy, because that team is just too good. And Steph Curry is that good. And you're seeing that right now. So until he get hurt, then I'm not very worried about it to that extent. Because winning solves a lot of problems, and they're going to win if those three guys are healthy. Him, Klay Thompson, and KD, and Steph Curry. But as we move on, guys, okay then, we'll move on to our next segment, listeners, and that's Fast Break. And for Fast Break listeners, we're going to talk about Melo. Carmelo Anthony was recently on the brink of being released from the Houston Rockets. And we want to talk about, we saw this coming, listeners. This is nothing new. We said it was a bad fit from jump. But we want to talk about, should Melo retire? If not, what team should he go to? Starting with you, Flo.
For Carmelo Anthony, the two best teams to me would be the Miami Heat, because they're craving for star power. And also Melo doesn't have to pay any taxes over there. And the other team would be the Philadelphia 76ers, because the way Elton Brand is going, he's trying to win now. So take your chances right now with this team. Nothing wrong having all these guys. You traded for Butler. You might as well sign Melo. Put these teams together. Take pressure off Ben Simmons, because he can't shoot a lick. So might as well go for it.
Do you think he should retire? Because some people talked about that as well.
No. Yep. If he needed to retire, he should have retired when he got traded from the Knicks to OKC. That's when he should have retired. He kept playing the same season, so you know what? Just keep playing. Doesn't make no difference. Also, Melo's goal also is to actually play 20 years in this league. He saw with Dirk how Dirk was appreciated playing 20 years in this league and how humble he was. I think with Melo, if he gets to 20 years in this league, I think he'll definitely be very humble. So that's his goal, 20 years in this league. He saw how how all these NBA teams treated Kobe when Kobe was on his farewell tour.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen unless he win. That's the big difference between them guys. Dirk won and Kobe won. People will appreciate more when you're a winner. But I hear where you're coming from. What about you, Danny D? What you think about Melo's situation right now?
Melo's situation it's a sad situation. It's it's very sad and things like that, and that you can't fit with teams of that nature. Retired, no, because he still can play. It's just that he has to he needs to translute his game to like how Paul Pierce translutes his game to fit to be under the shoot the shots and things like that. Defensively, we know that he's not good, but for a team, Miami's a good fit. Like Flo said, Philadelphia. It's a lot of teams that need him, but the thing is, it's not even going to be what teams need him. It's going to be, does he know what his role is going to be on that team? And he has to be realistic about his playing abilities and what he can do. And if a team says, like, listen, Melo, you're not going to start, he has to respect that they don't need him to be a starter. He needs to be a spark off the bench, and they need to go from there. And I think the biggest problem is Melo getting himself in the way too. You can't do that. If you had to come off the bench, just come off the bench, man, and play and contribute to a team. But now the thing is, he wants to get a ring now, later in his career. What team is going to fit him? A championship caliber team that's going to give him the minutes that he wants to play for.
Yeah, hit the nail on the head to me, Melo. And it's so bad because it could have been so different if he actually went to Detroit Pistons versus Darko Milicic. It'd been a whole different career, I think. I think he would have learned the value of defense on Larry Brown and, Ben Wallace and all them guys. So, but that's neither here nor there. At this point, Melo, he definitely should still be in the league. I hear some people saying he should retire. You got plays for Ron Baker. You got plays for Carmelo Anthony. That's the bottom line with that. And for teams-wise, I would like to see him go to actually Charlotte Hornets. You got a kinship with Jordan Brand over there, Michael Jordan. Kemba Walker's out there balling. So, he's the main guy. And the one thing I noticed about Melo, he plays better when he respects who he's playing with and he thinks the guys are better than him. He never really got a chance under Houston because we all know Dan Antonio really don't like Melo. And we know why, because what happened in New York. And he was just a bad fit, period, with that team. But he plays better when he actually respects the players that's on the team and think he's better than him versus when you see like the Olympic Melo versus regular Melo. And I think we'll realize that Kemba's the man on that team. And they just need more scoring. Kemba's be dropping 60 points, 40-something points. But they ain't got nobody over there, man. They got Williams. They got Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. They ain't got nothing other than Jerry Lamb and stuff like that. So it's like he could find a spot on that team. Nick Batum, he's a shell of himself. So you could get a little cat space for him, maybe release somebody, get him in there. I think he would calm down and play somewhat well for them. But other than that, I don't really know where else to go with Melo at this point, especially if you don't change the game like Danny D stated. And another thing we'll talk about regarding fast break, guys, is J.R. Smith is basically being put on the trade market by the Cleveland Cavaliers. Where do you think be a good destination for him, and what's your thoughts about that? Starting with you first.
Yeah, remember the trade machine? J.R. Smith going to Philadelphia 76ers for small forward for Chandler and shooting guard Furkan Korkmaz. So that's the trade offer. I checked it out. It works money-wise. Wilson Chandler got an expiring deal. It's got one, this season. So, but also with the Sixers, it's a -2 for J.R. Smith. But again, to me, it's a good deal for both teams because with the Cavaliers clear up some cap space with Wilson Chandler, you don't have to keep him for the whole season. If Chandler wants to play for a contending team, you can release him come February.
I don't like that move. Not for 76ers. I think Wilson Chandler, especially since they got rid of Covington, they need some actually play some defense. I mean, he had injury issues, but J.R. Smith is not a good defender at this point. I don't like that deal for 76ers. I like it for Cleveland, but not for them. What about you, Danny? What you think?
Yeah. The other thing is for JR, things like that, like you said, he's very inconsistent ball player. But for trade stuff like that, now if Philly can get him without a trade, like say if I don't even know why the Cavs don't even want to buy. Why they don't want to buy him out?
I think because so much cap space. This contract is big. Remember, he signed that contract on Melo. Basically made that deal. I mean, not Melo. After LeBron made that deal go through, he getting a good penny.
I think I had to look it up. No, I think he only getting paid like $4 or $5 million this time now. No. Because you remember for JR? Yeah.
I'll look it up right now.
Yeah, look it up right now. Yeah.
JR has 2 years left. He's making $14,720,000.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Because I said for trade wise and things like that, if they can just like do like a stretch provision or something like that and pick up the trade, because the thing is, I don't know who's gonna trade that. You understand what I'm saying? What you gonna trade to get them? That's the only thing. That's the only thing. As opposed to picking them up off like a waivers and things like that. But yeah, I really don't see a good team to fit. I'm talking about trade wise, because if I'm an organization, things like that, I'll be honest with you, I don't want them. That's just me personally. I don't have any pieces to give up to get him because he's inconsistent and he doesn't play no defense.
No, that's the problem. And he doesn't make like the minimum or anything like that. It's still not, it's not a small contract. So that's the issue. I mean, he can help a team out, don't get me wrong, but like you said, he's not consistent enough like before
to give up a draft pick or something like that.
Exactly. At least to me at this point. I don't see it. But, that's the dilemma. And I don't mind him. I wouldn't want to play with this team either if I'm Cleveland. Cleveland's rebuilding. They should have known that once they got rid of LeBron. So once they did that and Kevin Love been hurt, this team is not going nowhere no fast. And they're trying to get that draft pick. You can see that. Okay, listeners, we're going to our next segment, which is Open Court. And for Open Court, Danny D, you got something to tell us about Open Court and NBA talk topic. What you got for us today?
Okay, we got Adrian Wojnarowski from ESPN just talking about what was going on in the Washington Wizards, where allegedly Scott Brooks told during practice that the team needs to bring it up a notch, bring up their level. And John Wall replied to Scott Brooks, quote unquote, F you. And basically that was the end of practice. So how you guys feel about that? During practice, guys, during practice. One of your star players cursing out the coach.
Yeah, Scott Brooks, man. This team is all over the place. All over the place. We talked about it before. It's trying to blow this team up a long time ago. But start us off, Flo. What you think about this?
Again, LA, D, we brought it out here first, at the end of last season when we said certain teams need to be broken up. We said the Wizards, that backcourt has to go. We said it. They need to blow up this team. So I'm not surprised. Also, Scott Brooks is a bad fit with his team. I just don't see the Wizards firing him, even though I know he's on the hot seat. I don't see them firing him. I just don't see that their owner is willing to pay money for a coach to stay home. I don't see it. I really don't. I don't see it at all. So, again, not surprised. To me, the best coach the Wizards had was Randy Whitman, and they fired him. That was the best coach because he had everything in check with his team. Even though this team had issues, it hasn't reached this level until Scott Brooks came on the scene. It never reached this level. When the team should have been broken up a year earlier, they didn't break it up. They still kept this team. Gentlemen, I don't know if you ever remember that saying Bill Belichick always makes with the New England Patriots. It's better to trade a player a year early than 2 years too late. This is where the Wizards are at this point right now. This is where they are. They got to break up this team, and, it's going to be 2 years too late. This team should have been broken up a long time ago. A long time ago.
No, I agree. And Scott Brooks is not the coach for this team. He has same issues with the Thunder. He's just not a strong coach to me. That's just honest opinion. So I'm not surprised this team is faltering, falling apart. And, this is what happens. This is nothing new. It's just now it's starting to come out, which is what always happens when teams start losing. More things start to come out, and it start to leak, and it's going to continue. That's just the nature of the beast. How about you, D&D? What you want to add to that?
Yeah, especially the team being broken up, especially when you're two all-stars. It's kind of hard to build a team with two all-stars or two guards. That's the thing. They really have nobody because John Wall he's an all-star, but he's not a voice of reason. The same thing with Bradley Beal. Those guys are not go-to guys that you look for leadership. And then you take some more money and then you give it to Otto Porter Jr. Never should have did it either. It's just bad decision upon bad decisions, and everybody should just part ways. But now you can't part ways because everybody's getting paid so much money. That's the problem now.
Yep, very true. It's hard to make them moves now. You can't just go by talent. That's why we're talking about with KD and KP thing. You got to have some common influence in there as well. And if you're not getting from the coach and the players are going against each other, like they say in practice, it's not going to get no better no time soon. But thank you there, Danny D. And I want to talk about for the final segment during our NBA talk, which is Hot Topic, guys. And for Hot Topic, I'm going to talk about stockpiling assets and diminishing returns. Basically, a lot of these teams have been just piling on, trying to chase the Golden State Warriors and just thinking talent's going to supersede everything else. Starting to see some chemistry issues with the Warriors themselves and even with teams like the Boston Celtics and issues that they're having. So the question I just have for you, gentlemen, what are some potential NBA players that should be traded away from their current teams, and what teams should they realistically be traded to? For example, players such as Josh Jackson, Jeremy Lin, or Gordon Hayward, John Wall, and Bradley Beal we recently talked about. You can start things off, Danny D. We'll talk about this topic for a little while there.
Okay, so some players that I talked about, I'll just give you one. One player that I thought that was holding back that should be trained is Kent Bazemore from Atlanta. You know that guy. You know him. I like him as a good player. Mm-hmm. I think Atlanta is really holding him back, and I really think that he should go to a playoff team. But only problem for a playoff team that I think that he should go to, I was thinking maybe like a good fit would be like a Milwaukee. It's like if Kent Middleton goes somewhere, that he can go get fit. So I pick Kent Bazemore from Atlanta.
Okay. Not a bad fit. I know you're saying he's kind of wasted there. Atlanta's not winning anything anytime soon. And he could definitely help them out points-wise because they do have their starting lineup. And after that, their bench has kind of been struggling with Snell and all them guys. Not a bad move. Just depends on who you trade him for. That's the main thing. Unless you want to trade like a second-round pick or something, I'm not sure. He's not worth a first to me, though. But unless it's like a low first or something like that. But it's not a bad move. I see where you're coming from with that one. How about you, Flo? What you think about that move Danny D talked about? Kent Bazemore.
Yeah, if he goes to Milwaukee, Raymond's saying I was saying the same thing. He reunites with his former coach from Atlanta, Mike Budenholzer. So I don't have a problem with that, him going to Milwaukee. But again, I'm just not too sure what is Milwaukee willing to offer to get him. Or maybe Milwaukee might sit tight and wait and see if Atlanta buys him out. I don't know. We'll see. They bought out Melo. I don't know if they're willing to buy out Kent Bazemore also. We'll see. I'm not too sure. He's a good 3-and-D ball player. I don't know if you guys remember. Kent Bazemore was in Golden State. It was him and Steph Curry. Golden State. He was the one who convinced Steph Curry to sign with Under Armour because he was the first player to Golden State Warriors to wear Under Armour sneakers. A lot of people don't realize that. That's one. Number two, a good 3-and-D ball player. He was there before Klay Thompson. Remember that. They traded Kent Bazemore and then they drafted Klay Thompson. Remember that. So the guy's a good ball player. He's not a great ball player, but he's a decent ball player. 3-and-D type ball player, good role player. You know, he's a serviceable NBA player.
Okay, sounds good. I got about 4 deals to speak about, but I'll do them last so we can just go run through them guys pretty quick, the best ones you got. So what you got on the table for Hot Topic, Flo? So what's some of the deals you thought about?
I got a lot of trades. Let me go through this real quick. So let me start off with Milwaukee since Dee mentioned Milwaukee earlier. So how about Kyle Korver of the Cleveland Cavaliers going to the Milwaukee Bucks for Matthew Dellavedova and a 2019 first-round draft pick? Let's go, gentlemen. What's your take?
Okay. How about you, Danny D? What you think?
Therefore, that would be great for Milwaukee. That would be great for Milwaukee to get us somebody sharpshooter and things like that. And the salary, I think he's only making like $7 million, something like that, for Kyle Korver. For 5?
7.5 million.
Yeah, 7.5. The only thing is, if I am Milwaukee, I would try to finagle something like that, and I could just give up somebody, just do a even swap, and not give up a draft pick.
Yeah, that's the hiccup for me. I'm not getting no first round pick, and I know y'all trying to break this team down anyway. So I'm not getting no first round pick for him. Maybe a second round pick or something like that. But I'm not getting no first round pick for Kyle Korver at this stage. But other than that, it's definitely a good move. Definitely help him spread the floor. So I like it in those other regards. What else you got there, Flo?
All right, let's keep it going here. I got a couple of Markelle Fultz trade rumors. Markelle Fultz to the Phoenix Suns for small forward Josh Jackson. Gentlemen, what's your take?
I got another deal for him, but Josh Jackson. But Markelle Fultz, I'm not doing that for that deal. Not me, because Markel Fultz is all over the place right now. Josh Jackson all over the place right now, matter of fact. But the thing is, at least his free throw ain't looking like, a puppet master is controlling it. I don't want no part of that. Not for that player. I'd rather do it for a different player I got in mind. But what you think about there, Danny D?
Man, you're going to stay right in Philadelphia because I'm not trading for you. You're staying right in Philly.
I would trade for him, but it'd be a reason why I'm trading for him. Not for him. Not that move, me personally. But what you think about Flo since you put it on the table?
I put it on the table. The reason why I think both players need to change the scenery. When you look at Josh Jackson, you got to remember, Phoenix got a lot of small forwards. They need a point guard. Markel Fultz fits the description of a point guard. Remember, Phoenix got Trevor Ariza they just signed. Remember, they got our buddy from Villanova, Mikal Bridges. So they got a whole bunch of forwards. So you know what? Just make the trade, change the scenery for both players. Both players definitely need it. I don't have a problem with that trade for both teams.
No, I agree. I agree with the thought pattern behind it. Definitely got a plethora of forwards, like you stated. But I think it's another deal that could be slightly better for Phoenix than me. And I think it would help both players going to different teams, as you stated. Different atmosphere would help them. What's other deals you got there, Flo?
All right, let me mention the rest of these more deals here. I'm getting to the hot ones, but another Markel Fultz deal. Give me 1 second here. Markel Fultz to the Orlando Magics for shooting guard Terrence Ross and his expiring $10.5 million contract. Gentlemen, what's your take?
Go ahead, Danny D.
I'm trying to think about it. Expiring contract, things like that. If Philly, maybe I'll probably do that deal if I'm Philly. Maybe because the thing is, if you're Philly and you want to really get rid of folks and things like that, and you're gonna keep, because the thing is, you have to think about T.J. McConnell, if he's staying or not, you're gonna pay him or not. But that for expired contract, I might take that deal. Just if I know I'm getting rid of folks and I don't want no folks, I might take it.
Yeah, I like it more for Philly, but I don't like it for Orlando. Orlando needs a point guard bad though, because when you see when DJ Augustine plays, they plays much better. But that's not the guy I would go with for them. And I know you're getting them, buying them low and hope it's going to, rebound for you down the road. That's what you usually got to do. But I'm not a huge fan of Markel Fultz like that. And I think Orlando got a lot of pieces. I just don't think he's the guy to run it right now. But I can see that move. It's not a bad move. I can see where both teams would be going with that. But I would do it, but not for him. I'd rather get that expiring contract off my books. Honestly, if I'm the Magic, especially if you spend a lot of money on Aaron Gordon lately. So, what else you want to add to that there, Flo?
Yeah, I think we all agree. I think this is a better trade for Philadelphia as opposed to Orlando. Orlando's a young team. They're taking a big risk by getting Markel Fultz. To me, you're taking a big risk because, again, you're already developing players and you're trying to fight to make the playoffs with the roster they have. I agree. DJ Augustine, to me, LA, I agree. He's a veteran backup point guard. I don't see him as an NBA starter at this point in his career. He's the NBA backup point guard. Terrence Ross, perfect fit for Philadelphia because, again, like D mentioned, and I said this earlier, expiring contract. In case, he has a bad playoff series, when they get to the playoffs, he had a bad playoff series, you let him walk, you free up some money to re-sign T.J. McConnell. So it's a good trade for me for Philadelphia. It's a bad trade for Orlando.
Okay, we all agree for the most part. What else you got there, Flo?
All right, gentlemen, 3 more trades. Down. These trades are about the Wizards. So let me bring this right now, put it on the table. Small forward, Otto Porter to the Houston Rockets for power forward, Marquise Chris, center, Nene Hilario, guard, Brandon Knight, and a first-round draft pick. Gentlemen, what's your take?
Go ahead, Danny D. What you think?
I'm trying to think. Half. You said in a draft pick?
Yeah, and a draft pick. Because since the Rockets were offering draft picks for Jimmy Butler, they might as well throw in a draft pick for Otto Porter.
So the thing is, Otto Porter's not even that good, though. He's good, but the Houston, I don't think that's going to benefit Houston, things like that, and Brandon Knight. You're gonna take Nene. Has Nene even played this year? Is he even getting minutes?
He had here and there sporadically, I believe.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. He's going back to Houston, things like that. But if I'm Washington and I'm blowing up the team, I'll do it. If I'm blowing up the team anyway, I might well go ahead and do it. But the only thing is, I got to see how he's going to fit in Houston, though. That's the only thing. As just shooting things like that, if he can defend in that contract, because you remember Otto Porter's getting paid a lot of money.
But it matches because of Brandon Knight, correct, Flo?
Because Brandon Knight, right?
Because he makes a lot of money.
Brandon Knight is making $14.6 million.
I would do that. It's not a bad move because you hoping the pick is not going to be worth that much if you're winning. And this is basically replace Trevor Ariza with a younger guy, similar skill. And you're not really losing because the big thing, you're not losing Tucker. That's the main thing with that to me. So I actually like that move for both parties because I thought you might try to keep him though, especially once you get rid of Bill and Bradley Beal and Wall. I think those are guys that got to go. One of them got to go. So I thought you would build around him after that. But if you determine not to keep him, it's not a bad move. Not a bad move with that regard. It can help both teams. I think it kind of helps. It looks like it helps Houston a little bit more than me because I feel like Wall or Bill got to go. I'd rather keep him and build around him afterwards. And you kind of force it to keep either Wall or Bradley. I mean, Wall or Bill. What you think about it, Flo?
Yeah, I agree with this. This to me, this trade favors more the Rockets to me as more for the Wizards. The reason why I like this trade for the Rockets, again, Otto Porter, another guy that needs a change of scenery. But if you move Wall and Beal, then you might as well keep Otto Porter. But to me, he kind of fits with Houston. Guy that can shoot the three. He's a good defender, not a great defender. He's a good defender. But again, it seemed like as long as Scott Brooks is there, to me, his number's going to falter. He's a guy that definitely needs a new coach. Out of all players in this league, he needs a new coach. Scotty Brooks is not the right coach for him. Again, he fits well with Mike D'Antoni, shoot the three ball, play some D. And he's a small forward. He can replace Trevor Ariza, like Danny D mentioned. So to me, it's a good deal for the Rockets. Only negative thing is they're going to go over the luxury tax because, again, you got 3 years left, making $26 million. D, I got to correct you. Remember, it wasn't the Wizards that made this deal. Got to remember, that was the Brooklyn Nets that created a crazy offer, and the Wizards decided to match it. So,
okay. And what's your last two there, Flo?
So my last two, again, is all about the Wizards here. So these are my last two trades. All right, John Wall going to Miami Heat for point guard Gordon Dragic and backup big man Bam Adebayo. Gentlemen, what's your take?
I ain't doing that. If I'm the Heat.
Not for what
I like Bam. I'm not rushing to do that. I don't want John Wall because he's making a ton of money, and that team is not winning right now. I like it for the Wizards.
Of course, I said the Wizards. I said you said the Wizards. I'm like, heck yeah, sign me up.
Because he's a better point guard for what they need. They need more guy that's going to distribute at this point and not a locker room problem. I haven't heard anything with Gordon Dragic in that regard. He's just on the little older side of 30. That's the issue. He had some injuries issues, but a much better deal for the Wizards than for the Heat. What you think about that, Flo? Anything else you had there regarding that?
No, I agree with you, gentlemen. This is actually a better deal to me, in my opinion, for the Washington Wizards. Ernie Grunfeld can get out of that bad contract he gave to John Wall. So to me, it's a great trade. And not only that, keep in mind, you got Dragic for 2 more years. You can let him walk. You don't have to re-sign him. And then with Bam, you got a young player you can develop. You put him alongside with Otto Porter. If you keep Otto Porter instead of trading him, to me, it's a good deal. You can rebuild. So it's a good deal. And think about it. You can free up some cap space and go after, a potential free agent come 2020. So it's actually, to me, is a great deal for the Wizards, more so than it is for Miami Heat. I know we always say, gentlemen, that the best player, when you trade the best player, normally the best player help you win the deal. We know John Wall is the best player out of these ball players. But again, with John Wall, he's got that monster contract that's coming up. Not this year, but next year. This year, he's making $169,800. He's making this year. But he's got that bad contract that's coming up next season. I think he's making like 30 mil, 38 mil, 47.3 mil. He's got a bad contract. So I got one more trade, gentlemen. Bradley Beal to the Philadelphia 76ers for guard Markelle Fultz. Expiring contract, a small forward, Wilson Chandler, who's making 12.8 mil. Zaire Smith, who got 4 years left on his rookie contract. And a 2021 first-round pick. Gentlemen, what's your take on this?
Love it for the 76ers. Hate it for Wizards. Not doing that for folks. He's not good enough. Not a good enough return. That first-round pick ain't going to be good enough. That team's going to win. with that type of move. Not doing that one. Not if I'm the 70s. Not if I'm the Wizards. No. How about you, Danny D?
Yeah, I wouldn't do that either.
You have a particular reason why?
It was who was the last spot, Flo? You said who was it? You said Cyrus. Who else was it?
It was Markelle Fultz, Wilson Chandler, expiring contract, Zaire Smith, who's still on his rookie deal, and a 2021 first-round draft pick.
Nah. Because the thing is, you're not trading talent-wise because when you say talent, the best off the jet. Bradley Beal was a bona fide all-star. Yeah, that's why I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, it's too one-sided to me. Yeah. It's not worth it. Even if you kill a little cap space, that pick is not going to be enough. Now, you're going to be 2 picks in a row, maybe. Like this year, it can't be 2 picks, but the pick following that following year, maybe something like that, non-lottery protected, then maybe we can talk. But just that's not enough for me. How about you, Flo?
No, I agree. This is a deal that favored more than 76ers. So even as a Knicks fan, I don't even like this deal of him going to 76ers at all. So no, so that like you said, gentlemen, it's more lopsided, favors 76ers in this deal. I think that the Wizards are not getting enough talent in return, believe it or not. I think the previous deal I mentioned before was a little bit better. The John Wall deal, to me, was much better than the Bradley Beal deal.
Okay. Well, thank you, dear Flo. Listeners can let us know what you think. It's only our opinions, that's all. And, I got some potential trades I looked up as well, guys. Want to go through them real quick. Starting number 1 trade I thought about, as you always say, Flo, it's about sometimes a guy just needs a change of environment, just need a new setting. And the guys I was looking for was Josh Jackson from the Suns and from the Hornets, Malik Monk. And the reason I said that, Malik Monk is currently averaging 10 points a game, 1 rebound, 2 assists. Josh Jackson, 7 points a game, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. Neither one of them are living up to their full potential. Kimba's taking a ton of shots for them, really overshadowing Malik Monk at this time as he should. But, taking nothing away from him, I think he'll do better in a different environment. Same thing with Josh Jackson. It's just not working out in Phoenix to me. He's not looking like the player you thought he was going to be. He's struggling. And I think it will help both of those teams because, like I stated before, Hornets got nothing else really going for them. Their forwards are really bad with Williams and Gilchrist. I think he's a good young forward that might help them. And with a guy like Kemba Walker is going to spread the floor and help him down low and things of that nature. So that was a deal I saw potential-wise that actually works on salary cap-wise. What do you think about that move, Danny D?
What's up, Malik, for Josh Jackson?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's an even swap. It's not that bad, things like that. And then now the only thing is if Devin Booker having a rough night, things like that, Malik can throw up more shots. And Josh Jackson is big enough to go down in the paint and actually, play to the back of the basket and have my opportunity to throw us out there and see if he can get some help out there.
Exactly. And that's the thing I look at because Devin Booker, like you said, if he don't play well, that team just struggles. They really don't do anything. So he's a similar player like that. I think he would help them out with some offense off the bench. Kind of like Trey Burke does with the Knicks. What you think about it, Phil?
Malik Monk coming off the bench for Devin Booker, for Devin Booker, I don't have a problem with it. I just don't like this trade because I think for me, if you're the Hornets, I think you got to move your other forwards on the roster. You got Nicholas Batum bad contract, and you also got my man, what's his name, Michael Gilchrist.
Yeah, but nobody want him. That's the problem. Those guys are so bad.
I agree, but I don't see Josh Jackson getting any playing time. So this trade might favor more Phoenix more so than it would with Charlotte, because I just don't see Josh Jackson getting playing time in Charlotte. You gotta get rid of those forwards, man. Unless Charlotte's looking in the mirror and saying, you know what, we're gonna bench these guys. We're gonna bench Marvin Williams. We're gonna bench Carter Gilchrist. We'll just give Josh Jackson the playing time. Also, you got Jeremy Lamb too. Keep that in mind. So you got a lot of guard forwards there on that Charlotte Hornets roster. So that's the thing.
Yeah, I would see that, but Batum though guy really need to be I would basically try to do what they did with Noah at this point. This guy is really bad. His contract is terrible. Yeah, stretch provision. And Lamb, at least he can play some 2-guard for you. So that's just a move I think that would help them down the road, get them younger, a little more upside, and I think that would help them down the road to me. Another move I saw that kind of piqued my interest, guys, was the 76ers. I know we talked about them making some moves for Gordon Dragic, basically for a trade for Miami Heat. We're trading Markelle Fultz, Mike Muscala for Gordon Dragic and a first-round pick 2019, no lottery protection. What you thought about this move, Flo?
One more time. I'm writing this down. One more time.
Markelle Fultz from the 76ers, Mike Muscala for Gordon Dragic, and a first-round pick in 2019. The reason why I said this is because 76ers need some veteran point guard. They need him bad. The first-round pick would definitely help them out in that regard because I think that would actually help out the Heat by giving that up. And then basically, for them, Fultz is a young guy. Miami Heat is really lost a lot of money. They gave a ton of money to Hassan Whiteside. And Gordon Dragic is not really going to do much more for this team. So you could get out of his contract and a young guy, maybe he played well for him. If he doesn't, you haven't really lost anything anyway. So that's why I thought it was a potential good move for them. Because basically Gordon Dragic getting 2 years, $18 million. That's a lot of money to still pay this guy. Fultz again, 3 years, $8 million, $1 million, $5 million in 1 year for Mike Muscala. So to me, you actually free up some cap space, and Dragic, like I said, would be better off with a veteran team or win now team.
Yeah, to me, it's a good trade for both teams. Believe it or not, it's actually a good trade for both teams. I like this deal a lot. You know, because you think about it, like you mentioned, LA, Dragic gets to play for a contender. That helps a lot. You know, no disrespect to Miami, but Miami's not playing well this year as we thought they would be playing. They're really struggling. And Markelle Fultz gets to change the scenery. He definitely needs it. I think he'll fit in with Miami very well. They got a lot of young players there with Josh Richardson. They got, what's his name, Rodney McGruber. They got a lot of young pieces there in Miami. So I think Markelle Fultz will be, you know, a good fit there. They can develop him. And keep in mind, they got the other kid from Duke, Justice Winslow. So, again, to me, it's a good deal for both teams. Definitely a good deal for both teams. I like it.
Okay. How about you, Danny D?
Yeah, and Pat Riley ain't going to have no nonsense. Pat Riley will fix him. He'll see what's wrong with Marcel Fultz. Pat ain't going to have none of that nonsense when he come down to Miami. He going to make him come in shape, and he going to have him the best specialist in the world because he'll have that fixed in a day.
And that's a big thing, too, I thought about, is that they got very good trainers over in Miami. Yeah. They're known for that. So he's going to come in shape because he's looking a little soft and pudgy like Deron Williams and me. So he'll get him in shape and get him to the right thing. And that's the one thing I thought about Miami Heat with that regards. And with Spoelstra, this guy needs a good coach. Spoelstra, I know we get on him a lot, but he's doing a lot with a team that's not that great. So, you know, I got to give him credit in that regards. I think he'd be a better fit for him. But, you know, just a potential deal. 2 more deals, fellas. I'll go through them real quick. One is for our beloved New York Knicks guys. And the recently healthy Courtney Lee, which I was very happy to see. But for Courtney Lee, no disrespect to you, Courtney Lee, but you got to go. Just because you got that one more year on there. I need that cap space, man. I need it badly. So for Courtney Lee, I'm trading him basically to the Hawks. And I'm going to bring Linsanity back here. Because Linsanity is making 1 year, $13 million. Courtney Lee is making 2 years, $12 million. And I even throw in a second-round pick to you guys. Because Lynn is doing well for them. He's not struggling. He actually is averaging, I believe, like 11 points per game over there. 11.2 rebounds, 3 assists. And I think he'd be a good fit for them. Because basically, Lynn will add another point guard to the Knicks for another year. So even if you don't want to keep Lynn, you can always trade Lynn at the middle of right before the All-Star break or right after it, you know. So to me, 1 year and $13 million versus 2 years and 12, I'll take that chance. Bring a little more excitement. Knicks ain't winning nothing no time soon. Bring some love back, some Linsanity. Hey, no problem for me with that. What you think about that, Danny D?
The only problem I have with that is the playing time because we bring in another guard. So that's what I'm trying to say, another guard because we still want our youngsters to play. That's the only problem I see with that.
Bye, Baker. He taking your spot. He taking your spot, Baker. Bye. That's it. But I know what you're saying. You don't want to mess up the young guy that Moody Day is playing well right now. But like I said, I think as a veteran presence, he just happy to be healthy at this time. I think he loved New York. And it'd be a nice little thing. I mean, he's not the star he was before, so he know he's gonna be on the bench. Ain't no choice with that. But we'll see. You know, I just wanted your thoughts about that. What about you, Flo?
LA, I love this trade. Definitely love this trade. Yeah, we got to do it now. Scott Perry, you listening? Make this trade happen. I love it.
Elaborate.
Listen, you getting rid of Courtney Lee's 2 years left on that contract, get rid of that contract to free up that cap space, you got to do it. Jeremy Lin's expiring contract, you got to pull the trigger on this deal. You don't have to think about it. Just do it. Like Nike, just do it.
I hear you. Hopefully they make it happen, man. I think it'd be a nice little story for the Knicks right now because they're struggling, man. So it'll be a nice little energy boost to them and help them out in that regards. And like I said, you can always trade them again by the All-Star break. So not like you got to keep them, but not for nobody who got more years in the contract. I want that cap space. And the last deal, guys, is basically the Wizards. I'm trading Bradley Beal, and I'm trading to the Pelicans for Solomon Hill, E. Moore, Wesley Johnson, first-round pick 2019, and a first-round pick in 2021. So basically, I'm giving away a lot of junk on some regards, but I'm also giving you these top picks. And that top pick of 2021 might be worth a lot, especially if Anthony Davis is leaving. And if you want to get rid of this guy, you got to start making moves one way or the other. And if you want to decide that John Wall is the guy you're going to keep, then you want to get some picks and you want to get rid of that cash. That's one of the few teams that actually can have enough cap space to take on that deal, because Bradley Beal making a ton of money. So that's the other thing I worry about. He's making $25 million for 3 years. So that's another thing. A lot of teams can't absorb that. And that'd be a perfect fit with Anthony Davis. With him, Holiday, and Davis, you actually got a legitimate small big three. Maybe that might make Anthony Davis want to stay. I'm not sure. But it's a move that could help both teams, I think, potentially. What you think about it, Danny D?
Yeah, I like that. I like that move and things like that. And you're getting draft picks and things like to compensate. And Bradley Beal can go out there and help out. And then you're getting a lot of compensation because you want to get the draft picks when you start rebuilding. And if you keep Otto Porter, dependent, vice versa, whoever you keep, and you're going to have draft picks that actually you can now build and shout out when you go in rebuild mode.
Okay. How about you, Flo? What you thought about that deal?
Hey, let me hear what are the Wizards getting back in return? Let me hear that.
The Wizards are getting Hill, Eton Moore, Johnson, first round pick this year, no lottery protection, first round pick 2021, no lottery protection.
LA, listen. This deal favored the Pelicans at all. This deal favored the Pelicans. To me, this is lopsided. Pelicans, you do this trade in a heartbeat. If you're the Pelicans, if you're Dell Demps, the GM of the Pelicans, you gotta pull the trigger on this deal. I don't know if you guys heard. There was a report that was made that came out on the internet yesterday, gentlemen, that right now that Anthony Davis is considering maybe, getting traded. He had a list of teams out there supposedly, and the Celtics is on his preferred list of teams. Got the Celtics, the Knicks, the Lakers, and the 76ers. So to me, you want to keep Anthony Davis in New Orleans, you pull the trigger on this deal. I love this deal for the Pelicans. Go ahead and do it. Like you said, LA, you got a shooting guard. You can slide my man Drew Holiday back at the point because he's been playing a little bit point. He's playing a little bit of two guard. You slide him right back at the point. Bradley Beal at the two. Then you got AD. You got a nice big three there in New Orleans that can do some damage. That can probably make it to the playoffs every year. You just gotta upgrade that bench. But again, you still got Julius Randle. Got to make sure you re-sign him. I love this deal for the Pelicans. Do this deal right now. You're the Pelicans.
No, I think you have to. And if the Wizards feel like it's not enough, you can always do like Billy King and swap picks as well. And I think Bradley Beal is worth that type of move. If you want to swap picks between that years, that's fine too. Because you got to make a move like that, and you got to blow up that team. Maybe you want to do that, and Wall's not going to fit there. I don't want to put him with Anthony Davis. I prefer to put Bradley Beal. I think he'll fit in more smoother with that team, or I should say. But that's the way I look at it. Not sure that's the best talent for them, but right now, teams are looking at this team and know that they want to get rid of the guys. You got to try to get what you can get at that point. But, listen, let us know what you think about it. That was basically a hot topic for the day, guys. The Knicks Weekly Roundup, guys. Okay, listeners. And we got some good news to talk about for once, with the Knicks recently won 2 in a row by defeating the Celtics 117-109 and the New Orleans Pelicans 114-109. They face the Memphis Grizzlies later tonight as Uncle Fizz returns to Memphis for the first time after being fired early last season by the Grizzlies. Knicks are now 6-14 overall and 12th place in the East. Let's start off with the Celtics games briefly, guys. What do you thought about that game and the Knicks win? Start with you, Danny D.
It was a good win. It was a good win. I don't care if people talking about the Celtics having a bad year. Not my concern. Don't care. A win is a win. And the Knicks played that good as a team. Good 3-point shooting. They shot very well from the 3-point line. I didn't know they were going to do that well. And what they shot 50% from the 3-point line. And another thing is they were very consistent with the free throws. So 3-point line, they were 50%. Free throw, they was 82%. And I want to give a big up to Vonleh doing his thing, have 16 and 10. It's a very good win. And I hope it keeps on continuing.
Yeah, hope so. That's finally some good news for us and Knicks fans overall. What you thought about it, Flo?
LA is a great game. I don't know if you guys were aware, Trey Burke got busy, 29 points, 11 assists, and he wanted to make sure that they weren't going to lose this game. He outplayed Kyrie Irving. Listen, this was a great win for the Knicks. They dominated for the first 3 quarters. Fourth quarter, I'm a little bit disappointed. They gave up 40 points. But again, you had my man Moutier playing. He played well down the stretch. You had that stupid technical foul call on Jaylen Brown going to the basket, and then after that, Moutier had a good foul, but then Jaylen Brown had throw his elbow, on Moutier. Referees made a great call, calling a technical foul on Jaylen Brown. Moutier made the free throws, and then Trey Burke coming through with that step back over my man Jason Tatum. Great win for the Knicks. That Knicks bench dominated the Celtics. Outplayed the Celtics bench. Knicks won in this game badly, with exception of that fourth quarter, real sloppy, giving up 40 points. But again, great win by the Knicks. Much respect. Trey Burke got busy. Love it.
No, not.
And by the way,
go ahead, Flo.
By the way, not to cut you off, LA. The Knicks should be 2-0 against the Celtics. They should be 2-0.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. The Celtics are definitely struggling right now, 9-9, I believe. But like you stated, a lot of good things to see in that game with Burke and Tim Hardaway continue to play well. 21 points he had in that game, and in his Cantor walking double too, 10 and 10. But the big thing was Vonleh. He played good, very well, like you stated, Danny D, 16 and 10. And the big thing was this team held a lot of the other guys in check. Terry Rozier didn't do anything. Jaylen Brown struggled. Tatum 15 points. That's not great for him. So to me, that's a lot of good things you wanted to see. The defense needed to step up, and it was a good push for them as they moved on to the next game, which was on the Memphis Grizzlies. I mean, not Memphis Grizzlies. Which was the next game, which was the New Orleans Pelicans, which they won 114 to 109. What you thought about that game there, Flo?
LA, that was a great win by the Knicks, man. I loved it. I enjoyed it. Knicks had an 18-6 run to close out the fourth quarter. My man, Emmanuel Mudiay, 7 points in the last 68 seconds. 27 points overall. 10 of 20 from the field. 1 of 6 from 3. 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 steals, a +5 in 28 minutes. And he had 15 points in that fourth quarter, by the way. 15 points in that fourth quarter. And LA, your boy, Alonzo Dreer got busy in this game too. 25 points, 8 rebounds, 9 of 12 from the field, 3 of 3 from 3, 4 assists, 0 turnovers, 4 of 6 from the foul line, a +13 in 34 minutes. And again, another player Danny D mentioned earlier, Noah Vonleh, 14 points, 5 of 10 from the field, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 4 of 7 from 3, and a +18 in 36 minutes. LA, we always talk about how the Knicks are developing players. Keep in mind, we're also developing Noah Vonleh, because when Noah Vonleh was drafted, keep in mind, teams gave him his assignment, just rebound. We don't want you to do nothing else, just rebound. This guy can ball, man. And we're developing him, and people don't even realize that. This kid is still young. Again, come out of the University of Indiana, first-round draft pick, top 10 pick, drafted by the Charlotte Hornets. Keep in mind, he also played with Victor Oladipo in the University of Indiana. The guy can ball. The problem with him is these teams, they lump them into a category. We just want you to rebound. Teams like Charlotte, teams like Portland, teams like the Chicago Bulls. These are 3 teams that he played for. They had no defined role for him. Come to the Knicks, Coach Fizdale, you know what, kid, man? Do your thing, man. I got no problem. Just do your thing. We're going to develop you. Just do your thing. I got utmost confidence in you. You know what? You want to shoot the 3? Go ahead and shoot the 3. I see you working hard in practice. Do what you want on the floor, man. We're going to develop you. So he's a young kid. I wish him all the best for the Knicks here. Again, he could be a potential building block with this Knicks team with Alonzo Dreer.
I only got one thing to say about that. Kyle Quinn, who? That's all I'm saying. No disrespect to Kyle Quinn, but we found a better replacement in that regards. Like you stated there, Flo, he played very well. And the thing is, I don't really look at him as a starter. So everything he's getting is gravy to me. Because right now KP is out injured, so what he's doing is gravy. So once KP come back healthy, that's going to be a nice little combination right there if you keep it up.
Exactly.
So that's the main thing I'm looking at with that. And Cantor's playing very well as well, as you stated before. And the main thing, like we was talking about before, I remember Danny D talked about, was Emmanuel Mudiay. We was talking about we want this guy to get back healthy, and he played very well. He calmed the team down. He's using his size. 27-7, 25-8 from ISO Zoe. Hey, I can't be mad at that. Kevin Knox, you got to go to the bench. You're a young guy. You're struggling. You're not getting back on defense. Some bad habits you're developing. Good job, Uncle Fizz, put him back on the bench. I'm not sure about Mari Hazanya keeping that spot, though. I think I would try to move up Dotson maybe and put him back in there, but I think he's worried about the size difference. So I kind of understand with that, but I really think I would like to move Dotson back up there. And, Mitchell Robinson, he moved back down like I stated. He was struggling out there somewhat, and you don't want to hurt this guy's confidence. But a lot of good things look good. Frank, I don't know where you at again. SOS for Frank. Frank, where you at, Frank? I don't know. But like I said, if you make a move for a point guard, you got spots for him because these guys behind him is not playing that great. Only thing was kind of shocking with Trey Burke. I thought he was going to play a little better, 20.7 points, 20 minutes, 7 points. But, I'm not mad at him. He had a big shot in Celtics. Nothing wrong with that. They got the win. That's the main thing. What else you want to say, Danny D?
Yeah, they got the win. And they got the win also when Tim Hardaway was having a bad game. That's very important. They played well when Tim was struggling. And in the fourth quarter, then you had two rookies, two young guys closing out the game, which is excellent. They didn't collapse in the fourth quarter because usually that's what happens at the end of the games, and we finished strong.
Yeah, very true. That's a very good point there, too. That's showing some growth from that team, which puts us right into the Memphis Grizzlies, which they play later tonight. Grizzlies 12-6, and probably second in the Western Conference. When does that say anything about Uncle Fizz, last tenure with the Grizzlies? What you think about that, Danny D?
No, I don't say nothing really about Uncle Fizz because Uncle Fizz is getting a bad rap because at that time, Mike Conley Jr. didn't even play a game. He barely played. Mike Conley is playing now. And a lot of teams is up and down, things like that. Memphis still sucks.
Yeah, that's true. I hear you coming from with that. But, they playing well. Got to give it credit for that. Marcus Gasol playing much better, somewhat healthy now. And, they got help on the way. Breaking news, guys. Joakim Noah, he's coming out there in the next week or so. That is on reportedly that he's going to be signed by the Grizzlies. I know that's our favorite guy there, Joakim Noah, off from that backup play. Gonna come back like Kawhi Leonard, man. I'm telling you, dropping buckets. What you think about that, Danny D? I mean, what you think about that, Flo?
Listen, with the Grizzlies again, LA. D mentioned this. LA. Yeah, D mentioned this earlier. You got a healthy Mike Conley, but for how long? That's the question. For how long? His body's gonna break down. How long?
I don't know. Never know with that team. Never know. And that's the big thing because they're an older team, too. That's the thing that always gives them trouble. But, time will tell, like I always like to say. And now I want to go into our win-loss predictions for this upcoming week regarding the Knicks, guys. First game up, they got the Grizzlies away. They're away with the Pistons, followed by the 76ers, and they come back home to play the Bucks. How you think they're going to do in regards to this upcoming week? Starting with you, Flo.
LA, they should beat the Grizzlies tonight, and they should beat the 76ers. With the 76ers, Knicks got to play 2-3 zone. When you see Markelle Fultz and Ben Simmons on the floor, leave them wide open. That's it. Just leave them wide open. Let them shoot it. Don't let Joel Embiid beat you. The Knicks should use their starting point guard, which is Moutier. Let them double team. Let them double team Embiid. Leave Ben Simmons open. Leave Markelle Fultz open. Let them shoot the jump shot all day. Let them beat you. You let them beat you, the Knicks should win this game. No excuses. They should beat them. You saw the Nets, what they did with the Philadelphia 76ers. They ran up and down the court. They took them out the game in the third quarter. The game was over come third quarter. They embarrassed the 76ers. It was their worst loss this season. They should beat the 76ers. No excuses for the Knicks. You should beat the 76ers. I don't want to hear no excuses. You got to beat the 76ers. They can't shoot. You got to win this game.
So how you think they'll go overall? And do you think they're going to beat the 76ers?
Yes, they'll beat the 76ers. They better beat the 76ers. I'm giving them a W against 76ers. No excuses. 76ers are struggling this year. They can't shoot, like I said before. They better beat the 76ers. I don't want to hear no excuses.
But how you think they're going to do all 4 games?
I got them going 2-2, but you know what? Maybe the Knicks will surprise me and go 3-1. But I got them going 2-2.
Okay, I hear you. Very passionate. I understand where you're coming there, Flo. How about you, Danny D? What you think?
I got them going 2-2. They got them going 500 2-2.
What teams you got them winning and losing to?
I got them. They should beat Memphis. And what was the other? What's the last 3 again? The order?
Pistons, 76ers, and Bucks.
I got them trying to beat the 76ers, and hopefully, if Cantor goes out and things like that and box out, So what you said? The first game is Memphis, and you said 76ers and Bucks.
Grizzlies, Pistons, 76ers, then Bucks.
Okay, and China got them beating Detroit, the Pistons.
Okay, I got them 2-2. I think they're gonna play well for Uncle Fizz. This is a returning thing. They gotta make him look good. They'll play their best with them. I see them beating the Grizzlies, losing to the Pistons. Pistons been playing well. You know, can't take nothing away from Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond walking double-double. So I think they're going to lose that game. 76ers, they better win that game, you know, according to Flo. And I'm going to give them that win because I don't want to see them waiting for them out there if they don't win that game. And then the Bucks, I see the Bucks, you know, they always play bad against the Bucks. Giannis always goes off on them. Middleton was dropping threes, so I see them losing again. 2-2, fellas. That's what I'm seeing. But listen, let us know what you think. As we close out the show, I want to talk about behind the scenes before we get to the last closing remarks. What you got for behind the scenes there, Flo?
LA, real quick. The Westchester Knicks won their third game in a row. They beat the Wisconsin Herd, which is the Milwaukee Bucks G League team, 104-91 at the Westchester County Center. Starting center Luke Cornett in 33 minutes scored 25 points, 10 of 19 from the field, 3 of 5 from 3, 2 of 2 at the free throw line, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 turnovers, a block, a steal, plus 14 in those 33 minutes. And shooting guard Billy Garnett, who's actually starting, and I'll tell you why in a minute, but Billy Garnett, 37 minutes, scored 22 points, 10 of 17 from the field, 0 for 2 from 3, 2 of 2 from the foul line, 4 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 turnovers, a steal, and a plus 12 in 37 minutes. Right now, the Westchester Knicks are 8-3 in the Eastern Conference. They got the best record in the Eastern Conference. 4-2 at home, 4-1 on the road. Westchester Knicks, let's go. And gentlemen, the reason why I mentioned Billy Garnett, gentlemen, when the season began, John Jenkins was actually the starting shooting guard for the Westchester Knicks. But right now, he's unavailable because he's been named to the 12-man roster for the Team USA World Cup qualifying team. He's currently one of 9 G League players that is playing on this USA World Cup qualifying team. So you know what? Congratulations, John Jenkins. We'll definitely miss you, but you know what? Do what you got to do. Represent Team USA. And let's go Westchester Knicks, baby. Let's make that playoff push, brother. Let's go.
That's right. Let's go there. Nice job there, Flo. Appreciate the stats for giving you everything regarding NBA, behind the scenes, NBA talk, Knicks fandom. We're giving it all to you, listeners. Come on. Hey. Closing remarks for the day, fellas. Starting with you, Danny D. What you got for our listeners?
Well, thank everybody. Thank you, guys. Thank the listeners. Keep on subscribing and showing the love and spreading love.
That's right. Much appreciated there, Danny D. How about you, Flo? What you got for closing remarks?
Yes, LA, I want to thank you, gentlemen, for allowing me part of this great show. I want to thank all the listeners, old and new. We're all over the place. YouTube, Spreaker, iTunes, Spotify. We're all over. Please subscribe, tell a friend, leave a like, leave a comment, positive comment. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Much appreciated as well there, Flo. Appreciate it, guys. Couldn't do without y'all. Listeners, as always, continue to listen to the show, share the show, subscribe, Apple, iTunes, YouTube. And, you know, the more you share, the more it grows. We'll be here for you as we continue. Knicks Fandom. See ya.